Hi, I'm David Clark, DJ instructor at Point Blank. If you want to learn more about Traktor and DJing in general, make sure you check out our courses at pointblanklondon.com. In this video, we're going to cover basic mixing theories, syncing two tracks manually and automatically, master and sync, and crossfader in EQ. Let's start with the mixing. In order for two tracks to work together, the most important thing is to make sure the levels are correct. What I mean by that is make sure the volumes match. There are a number of different ways to do this. I like to click on the loudest part of the song, which for this track will be around here, and for this track around here, and I like to play them and match them up by ear. That's about right. After checking the levels, the next thing to do is know where the 1 is on each track. This could be easier said than done, but the only way to learn is by listening to the song and getting to know it really well. Let's have a listen to this song.
Don't be silly.
With this track, there's no beat at the moment, so let's skip on to a beat.
On your way, paradise.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and the same with this one.
I don't want it unless it's hard.
Again, there's no beat here, so let's skip on.
I don't want it unless want it. I don't want it. I just want it hard.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we know where the 1 is, we need to know what phrase the song is in. A song is made up of phrases. In dance music, they're normally 8 or 16 bars. Let me give you an example.
In paradise.
2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. If you noticed, I counted 16 bars and then it changed into another section of the song. So that was a 16 bar phrase. Let's have a listen to the other song. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can hear after each 8 bars something gets added, so let's call that an 8-bar phrase. It's important to know this because you need to mix in phrase. Now we have the levels matched and we know what phrases the songs are in, we can now do a drop mix. The drop mix is the easiest of mixes. It's where you play one song and you instantly drop it into another one, but for this to be as effective as possible, you need to do it in phrase. Let's make it easy and cue the breakdown of one song and the drop of another. So I've queued up this breakdown and I've queued up this drop. We're going to play all of this breakdown, and the moment it hits the 1 of the drop, we're instantly going to pull the fader down and start the next track, like this. This is a great way of changing songs, especially if they're different tempo. If you noticed on the BPMs, I have not matched them at all. You can use this technique to go from any song genre or speed into another one. Next we have beat matching. We're not going to cover manual beat matching today, but we are going to look at all the other things that you can apply in order to match a song. Now we want to sync the tracks together. We can do this by looking at the BPM and changing it accordingly. We've got 11934 and 12468. So we could either match one to the other or meet in the middle. So let's bring that up to 12175 and let's bring that down to 12174. That's fine. Now what we can do is play them together.
I don't want it unless it's hard. I don't want it unless it's hard. I don't want it unless it's hard. I just want it hard, 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 hard. I don't want it unless it's hard. I don't want it unless it's hard. I don't want it unless it's hard. I just want it hard, hard, hard.
9 times out of 10 when you match the BPMs on the screen, the songs will match up so you'll be able to mix them. Another way is by pressing sync. The only way this will work with sync is if you beat gridded the song properly. Please refer to another video to show you how to do this. But let's assume we've got this beat gridded perfectly. We want to now incorporate the phrasing. Now we know that deck B has 8-bar phrasing and deck A has 16-bar phrasing. Let's use this to our advantage. In deck B we've got the last 16 bars of the song, and in deck A we've got these 16 bars leading up to the breakdown. What we can do is trigger deck A when deck B hits cue point number 3, and one will finish perfectly on the breakdown for deck A. You notice that deck B finished at the exact moment for the breakdown in deck A. Phrasing can be and should be applied where possible. With sync, you've got sync master and sync auto. This simply means if I hit sync when there's just master on at the top, all decks will sync to that master clock. If I have auto on, however, and I press play, this deck will become the master. So if I change the tempo, all the others will as well. Let me show you. If you see the right hand side, these can be used for different techniques, but if you want to make it simple, take the auto off, double click the clock and change it to whatever you want. Now everything will be synced to that time. Lastly, we have the crossfader and the EQs. Let's start with the crossfader. You'll notice the crossfader and you can assign which deck you want to which side. By default, deck A and C are on the left hand side and deck B and D are on the right hand side. You can change these just by clicking them, where deck A, B, C and D are now all on the left hand side and nothing's on the right. Or you can untick everything, which means the crossfader doesn't do anything at all. Let me demonstrate. You can only hear deck B at the moment because the crossfader is all the way to the right, but if we bring it into the middle, you'll be able to hear both of them. And slide it over to the left, and you can only hear deck A. You can use the crossfader for smooth blends or for scratching depending on your curve. To change the curve, go into Preferences, go into Mixer, and change it between smooth and sharp. For people who scratch or like to cut, you want it on a sharp, or for people who don't use this, you can use smooth. Let me demonstrate. All the way to smooth, and we'll play these two songs. Slowly goes down, slowly builds up, and that one slowly goes down in volume, and that one slowly goes up. That can be used in replacement for the faders, for instance, or you can use them in conjunction with. With sharp, the other song is brought in with a little movement. Let me demonstrate. This is down to your preference how you want to mix and whether you want to scratch or cut, or you want to use the crossfader for smooth blending. Lastly, we have EQs. EQs are the high, mid and low rotaries you see on each deck. These manipulate the high, mid and low frequencies separately. Let me show you. can use these in conjunction with effects, volumes or anything else to get a really smooth transition. You don't, for instance, want two bass drums coming in at the same time at full volume, otherwise they could be too loud and not a smooth mix. So you could EQ one off and then slowly change them. Let me show you. There we swapped over the bass drums for a smooth mix. And you can use the high and mids for similar effects. I advise that you don't have the EQs all on full, otherwise this can distort the sound. With some practice you can use these to great effect. In our next video in the series we're going to be looking at effects. In the meantime, why not check out our courses at pointblanklondon.com.